everyone, it's Laura from Laura's Handcrafted Treats and Treasures. Welcome to or back to my channel. What do we have going on today? Well, I am doing a little project that is going with my Christmas series 2024, a gift / treat, something you can make up super quick. You have somebody coming over extra for dinner, or you need a little gift to take to someone. This is perfect. I am using Carolyn's Musings Vintage Country Charm. It's a junk journal collage paper and ephemera. And I've only printed just what I'm going to be using, but this kit is big and it's gorgeous, and I have a lot more I want to do with it. But I'm going to be using this one, and I'm going to be using this one. I'm going to turn that way. How great our joy. And there's some ephemera that I want to put in there. And there were a couple other, there were some tags and stuff, but I'm going to start working on this first and see if I want to add a tag to it. So I will have all of the links in the description box below. I also have used her Vintage Country Charm 180 Fussy Cuts. Oh my gosh, that kit is so awesome. I actually did a little project the other day. I will link that video in the description box as well. But it kind of goes with this kit, but you can use it for so many different things. Definitely would recommend both of these. So here's what we're going to be making today. Okay, so this is what we're going to be making. These are just a couple little containers, little pouches that you can use for different type of gifts. And I'm going to show you or explain or tell you what you can put in there. But yeah, this is going to be our project for today. Okay, so let's get started on the large one. I'm going to bring in my little description of what I'm going to make. I always have templates, so I have those laying here too, so I can remember what I did. And we're going to cut this down first to 10 3/4 by 7. And I'm going to cut my little white off first, because knowing me, I will cut the, I'll cut the length that I need, and then I will have not cut off the white, and I will cut into it, and then it will be on my project. Because I've been known to do that. So I don't want that. I'm going to get those out of the way. And then there we go. Get out. All right. So let's see. I need it to be 10 3/4. So I'm just going to trim a little bit off. It's probably out of shot. You probably can't see it, but I am at 10 3/4. And see how I have that little bit of white? I'm going to make sure I trim my 7 off of that way. But I'm going to turn this way for the 10 3/4, because I don't want to lose some of that. I mean, it's all going to come out fine anyway. It doesn't matter. Okay, so that's almost 10 3/4, because I took off the edges, and I actually maybe took a sliver off, a little bit too much off of the end. So we're going to leave that one alone. It's good enough. It'll be fine. And then this one is going to be 7. So I guess keep that in mind when you're trimming off the white portions of your paper. Okay, we're going to get that out of the way. Now, if I was making these, I would sort of have an assembly line going, and I would make a lot of them at one time. So we're going to go ahead and bring my little diagram. So I need to score the bottom. So this is going to be the bottom, although you might think it's going to be the long piece. It's not. Your short end is going to be your bottom. So I'm going to score that at 3/4. Just going to give it a nice little score, run it through a couple times. This paper is absolutely gorgeous. And then I'm going to turn it. And as I've said before, I know a lot of people score like this. It's comfortable for me to do this. So that's why I have it that way. So then I'm going to score at 3/4. And I'm going to score at 5. I'm going to score at 5 3/4. Almost did an 1/8 there. Getting so used to doing 1/8 all the time. And then I'm going to score at 10. Okay, so we have all of our scoring done. Now I'm going to go ahead and fold. And you can take your bone folder and burnish that and make it lay a little bit flatter. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Okay, I'm going to fold all those. I'm going to fold all those. And that one. Now these are great to make up ahead of time before we do any gluing. You can just leave this flat. And you're going to see why we can just leave this flat, because the gluing is so super simple. All right, so what we need to do now is we're going to keep these. And I think I kept that. But we definitely have to notch that out. I'm kind of remembering how I did that. So I'm going to just notch it a little bit this way and a little bit this way on either of those. And then, let's see, did I keep those on? I'm just going to do my notch here because I think I might have kept those on. At least one of them, I'm pretty sure I did. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and basically we're going to assemble our box. Now, I'm going to do mine. Oh, I just realized I might have had that upside down, but that's okay. I'm going to go with it because there's going to be something over. So because this end was a little bit shorter, you're not going to want to butt this up to that corner. You're going to want to butt that up to the end. And the best way to do that, and I'm going to see if I did do both of them in that manner. Okay, you only need one of these. You can leave them both on there. It's not going to hurt it. But I'm going to go ahead and snip this one off. Just completely. Snip that off. We don't need it. All right. So now, because this end was a little bit shorter, and I want to glue so that this hits the edge, I'm going to glue this way. So that the seam is going to be to the back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue here. You can probably use tape for this. You can use a glue stick. It doesn't take much for these to actually come together. And then I'm going to go ahead and lay this down this way. And then I'm going to bring it right to that edge. Okay, so I have it right to that edge. Okay, and then we are now forming our little box or our little bag. I'm going to go ahead and fold these in, and then since this is my front, I'm going to want this seam to the back. I have this seam to the back and I have this seam just to give it a nicer look. So let's go ahead and glue those. Whoop. Might be helpful if you take off the pin, Laura. It helps. I've heard. Okay. Glue here. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and sort of line those up. And then I'm just gonna take my bone folder or a ruler or whatever you can get down in there and sort of press. Super cute. Okay, but we're not done. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take the top and I'm gonna pinch in the center to make a little, sort of a little gusset. Not all the way down. It doesn't need to go all the way down. Just at the top. Okay? Just like that. Now you can leave it just like this. You can put a couple of holes in here and put a ribbon, or you can make it so that it folds down. So that it folds like this as a bag, which is what I am going to do. So I'm just gonna straighten these out just a little bit more. And another thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and ink up those edges just to finish that top off, which I really should have done beforehand, but you know, hindsight. It's like, sometimes it just doesn't always go that way. So let me see, ink up these edges. And you can even ink all the sides and stuff too, which I might do. Just gives it even more character. So let's get it to the front. This was my front. I'm going to bring my scoreboard back in just to help me get that nice score going. And actually I should have done this beforehand too. So if you score that other one, if you want it to go over, you know, I think about 1.5 inches, I think is good. So I'm just going to try to get that, just to get it started to help me fold it over. There we go. That side's a little bit wonky, but you get the idea. If I'd have scored it at, you know, ahead of time, I wouldn't have had that problem. All right, or like I said, you can leave it up. Now, there's a couple different ways that you can close these. And let me see if I can find a clip. Yes. So you could just take a clip and boom, you're done. Put your little gift in there. I'm going to tell you at the end what you can put in there. Or you can take your hole punch, and I'm going to take the bigger one, and then sort of, let's see, let's put one, let's get up here where I can see. I'm going to put one about here. Oh, wait, that's not the one I want, because I want the bigger holes. I want this one, so about here. And you might have to use your other, what is that? I always forget the name of it. It's not the crocodile, but it's the one that does all the punches. Or you can put them even closer together, up to you. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get in my ribbon box here and see what I might like for a ribbon. And I usually stick to pretty much my reds. I don't know, the gold I think would look good too though. Let's do a gold. So I'm gonna go ahead and I had to go get stock up on my ribbon stock because I was running out of some colors, and then of course I found some, you know, more colors. All right, then go ahead and how much do I think I'm gonna need? I'm just gonna snip off about this much, and I'm gonna feed it through the back. Oops, still has the tape on there. And then feed it through here. And these might have been, you know, better a little bit closer together, but you get the idea. Just tie a little bow and you have a little gift box that you can put things in. So you could put a hot cocoa pack in here. You can put some little treats. If you make candies, like peanut brittle, you know, obviously put them in a bag first. You could do some peanut brittle. You could do a couple little chocolates to go with your hot cocoa. You could do a little bag of marshmallows. You could put a little, you know, a little gift in there. So, and I have an idea for this one too. So, other that I'm going to come to you later with that. So anyway, that's the first one. So let me clean up my mess here and then we'll get to the second one. All right, so here is my second sheet we're going to work with, and this one is going to be 10 3/4 by 5. So if you're catching on, you can adjust these to any size. You can even adjust the width or the gusset. If you make your width a little bit smaller, if you want this, and you make your gussets bigger, just remember if you want a 1-inch gusset on each side or 1-inch panel, you need to do a 1-inch on the bottom, because when you put them all together, they have to match. You could do this with 12 by 12 paper and then still make your tall and make your make a 1.5 gusset or panel if you want. So this is 10 3/4, and this time I was a little bit more cautious about cutting off the white. I want to keep that in there, so I need to cut at 5 inches. I'm going to go ahead and cut that, and then of course save this. You can even make a little tiny teeny one if you wanted to, but save your scraps because that's going to come in handy for something. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my scoreboard again, and on this one we are going to score 3/4 at the bottom, just like the first one. And we're going to turn and we're going to do 3/4, 5, 5 3/4, and 10. Okay, now on this one, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to score the top, which I should have done in the last one, but I'm going to score the top at 1.5. It's not on the notes here, but I want to score this at 1.5. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this all folded. And this is very, very similar, if not almost exactly the same as the other one. So, well, this ended up in the center anyway, so no big deal. But we know this is my top. So on this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this, but I'm going to be taking out completely this, 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 and this. Okay, so let's get them out of there. And I'm cutting just on the other side of that little bevel that's in there when you score it. So cut this one all the way down. And then I'm going to cut this one straight. I'm going to cut this one completely out, cut it straight. And then we're going to do what we did the last time. And I'm just going to check to see where, well, first I'm just going to do these and then I'll check it because it'll just be easier. So just a little bit of a notch on this side, a little bit of a notch on this side. Same over here. Okay, so this is going to come this way, and I don't need 2 of these, so I'm going to cut my inside one out. Wait a minute. I'm going to double check that. Yeah, because this will go to the back, so this is my inside one. Okay. And then we're going to do the exact same thing. This one's going to come to this side. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that down. Well, sometimes you can't always lay it down, so let me get it. And that one is a little bit shorter, but I need it to come. Well, I might have to do that gusset on this side, that little. But you know what? I'm just going to ink that up a little bit and you're never going to know it. Because it's probably like a 1/16 of an inch shorter. And I need this to come to this edge. And this one, as you can see, will not quite come to the edge. So I'm going to go ahead and get some glue on that. Oh. Yeah, nope, there's one thing I'm going to do first before I do that. Because it'll just make it easier. I'm going to put a couple of little notches in. Let's see if I can get it in there. There. And in there. And just a little tip for you on your crocodile chomper. I put a little piece of washi tape over here so I always know that's the 1/4 inch side. Just so I didn't have to keep looking. Just a little tip. All right, let's try this again. So this one is going to come to the front. Yep, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that now. And I'm just going to line up these edges. Gotta get it to the top just right too. Okay. Good. All right, let's let that glue get glued in there. All right, so now same thing. Oh, did I forget to snip that? Yes, I did. Well, I'm just fumbly bumbly today. Trying to get these videos done so you guys can have time to do all these cool little crafts. So I'm going to send this to the back because this is my front. Another thing I meant to do too was, again, ink, but I'll do that after I get this glued. Ink the raw edges on the top because I like the look. And of course, when you're making videos, you're trying to go fast because you don't want to keep people forever. You want to give them the idea, but you don't want to keep them forever. So sometimes it's a little more fumbly bumbly than if you're just taking a little bit extra time on your own. Okay, get that back in there for that dries up. And then I'm going to go ahead and ink these edges. Okay, so we have the same concept as the first one. We're going to go ahead and pinch in these edges. And then this time you have your little flap that comes over. Okay, so I showed you on the last one how to put your holes in there, put your ribbon through. You can use, like I said, a little clip for a closure. But this one I have a little something else to show you. So, you know, sometimes you go to craft shows and craft fairs, and oh, I did that on the wrong side again. Anyway, and sometimes you find jewelry, and they're, you know, they put it in a little bag for you. So you want to just be able to gift it in a nice little package. And this is how you can do it. So I've cut this to about, let's see, it's 3 3/4 by, you know, 2 7/8, you know, whatever. It doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a couple of little dots where I want to put some holes. And to think about this for a second. So I'm going to put one maybe about here. So I went in 3 and then here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and punch those out. Okay, then you want to take your scissors and you want to just cut in just to the tip of that hole, and the same on the other side. Okay, then you can take your necklace, and if you've seen jewelry in the jewelry stores, you know this concept, because this is exactly what you're seeing. And then just put this in here. So put your little necklace in there, and then you can either put a little bag on the back, or what I've done is I'm just gonna take a little piece of tape and tape that down so that it doesn't fall willy-nilly all over the place. In fact, I'm gonna switch that just a little bit so I don't have that clasp in there. Okay, so just go ahead and tape that down. And again, you can take this and tape that up across there too. Or you could actually take another piece of white and you can attach it to here to make a pocket, so that this falls down into the pocket and doesn't fall into the little willy-nilly like this. And then just go ahead and slip that in there. And you have a nice little package for your, for your jewelry. Okay, so this was the front. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out some of the embellishments. When I come back, I'm just going to do an overall, here's what we have. Okay, so I'll be back. And here they are. A couple little touches I put on them. I did go around the edge of this with a gold paint pen. I don't know if you can see it. And then on this one, I went around with a silver paint pen. So here's our little project, and I hope you have fun making them. Go grab some paper and make a quick little gift for someone. All right. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.